Hello, welcome back. Today we're gonna talk about let's try and review the decision-making statement that we are currently working on, which is an if statement. So as you can see, this was the program that we took a look at last time, where you asked the user to enter an age and we displayed different greeting messages based on what their age was. So maybe it's been a while since you looked at this code, so I'm just gonna try and let's take a look at this line by line. One of the things that you will do almost every day when you get into coding is you will have to read code that you have written, let's say a month ago, or not. You won't remember what you wrote. So a computer programmer spends a lot of time looking at code and tries to understand what the code is about to do. So let's do that exercise for the same program that we saw in the last video. So let's start with the first line, which says age equals int, in brackets, input, enter your age. So let's just see what we've already written this program, so you should know, but let's try and see what this does. This is basically, it works from the inside to out. So the first thing that this does is input, enter your age. It is asking the user to enter their age. It displays this message, enter your age, and then whatever keystrokes the user hits, it takes them in, converts them to an integer if possible, and then assigns it to a variable called age. So instead of saying age equals 5, this statement is taking the input from the user and then converting it to an integer and then saving it to the variable age. Let's see what the next line does. The next line says if. So basically we have started making a decision in the code right now. The next line says if age is greater than 60, print greetings sir or madam. I think this is pretty straightforward. What does the next line do? Elif. Elif means if the first if is not true, then is age greater than 10. And you might remember that this is where we had the bug where if age is greater than 10 was above age is greater than 60, then that condition would become true. So what we're doing here is we are checking, is age greater than 60? No. Then is age greater than 10? If yes, we will say hello, and then we will say good morning. And the reason why, if you remember, these lines of code here are to the right of this line, the lines above them, is because that's how if statements work. If a condition is true, you can do one thing, or you can do multiple things, as long as you indent them to the right. This tells the interpreter that if age is greater than 10, the program has to print hello and has to print good morning. So both statements need to be executed if age is greater than 10. And then at the end we say else. Else means if all the if conditions above the else are false, then go ahead and do this. And again, in this else, we are also doing two things, not just one thing. We are saying hello buddy, and then we are saying something else. But because both of them are to the right of the top line, these two will be executed together when the condition is true and the condition is else. So that's there you have it. That's the first code walkthrough that we have done. I know this is the code we wrote and the code which is pretty straightforward, but I want you to get into the habit of looking at code line by line and trying to decipher what it will do, trying to predict. And the best thing is that if you want to compare what happened, what your predictions were based on what the code is, all you have to do is just run it. So you can just go here and say run made-up3.py, because that's the name of this program, right? It says enter your age and I say 23, I wish, and it says hello and good morning, just like, because it's not greater than 60, but it's greater than 10, so it comes down here, right? So with that, this was our first walkthrough. I'm going to give you another walkthrough to do in the next video, and I will see you then.